Today, on this special video edition of our podcast, we're going to walk through every significant construction project at Disney World and Disneyland. The podcast has a lot more, but here let's start with Downtown Disney in California. As part of the effort to both upscale and diversify culinary offerings, Paseo and Centrico are nearly finished and should open now by summer. Our first park, DCA, has only one minor project at the moment. The Redwood Creek Challenge Trail is closed for refurbishments, likely in preparation for summer crowds. But there are more interesting projects underway over at Disneyland, where Minnie right now is still proudly displayed in front of the train station. But the big updates are backed by New Orleans Square. Earlier this year, Disney closed down the mansion for months to fully replace the grounds. The project will redo Magnolia Gardens in front of the train station. It will entirely reshape the queue, likely to bring guests waiting in line inside of the walls and away from public areas. And it will have a new exit and gift shop. At this point, everything from the old queue has now been removed right up to the entrance steps of the mansion. There's a backhoe, piles of dirt, and section markers for the new garden arrangement. The queue will tie in some old mansion lore, including about that sea captain, and should open by this coming winter. It's one of the largest area changes to the original Disney park that involves some original entrance design areas that had been initially overseen by Walt. And right next door, there's another large project that is still many months from being finished. This is Tiana's Bayou adventure at the start of April. I want you to hold on to these images so that later you can compare work here to work on Tiana's Bayou adventure in Florida. Needless to say, in California, with the scaffolding, we are still many months from opening. Officially, it's late 2024, but possibly 2025. Lastly, there's actual work going on the stage areas of the Fantasyland Theater to remove Lion King and to prepare for Pixar Fest later this summer. One last California item. Magic Way is a street that Disney would like to buy from the city, so it can turn the Disneyland Hotel parking lot and the street into an expansion pad for the park. The rectangle here on the Disneyland Forward art represents the parking lot and street area. So this is a very large area that could be a massive expansion. But now let's shift our attention to the Florida resort, where at the Magic Kingdom it's Mickey, not Minnie, out in front of the train station. The largest project at this park is also Tiana's Bayou Adventure. But as you can see, the Florida version is significantly further along than the one in California. The animatronics here have all been installed in the show building. Imagineers have also been riding through the entire ride on logs in recent weeks. For a while, based on various conversations we've had, we've been guessing that the opening date for this attraction would likely be either late June or early July, though nothing official has yet been announced. The other project at this park is a relatively small one and is over in the Storybook Circus area at the back of Fantasyland. This is an area that, with its sun-faded flats, desperately needs a refresh. Garden areas have recently been upgraded to prepare for the Smell-O-Fence on-parade aromatic statues that will soon be installed in the area. But there are other minor refreshes in the area, such as by the train station. This luggage piece refers to the Pixar short Red's Dream. The hat box next to it is for the Mad Hatter. Here we have balloonist extraordinaire Big Bad Wolf with his huffing and puffing, and right below there's some luggage from Hyacinth Hippo, who was one of the stars of Fantasia. And lastly, we have a reference to the 1948 animated feature, Melody Time. Over at Epcot, most of the work is at the front of the park. We now have a closing date for Test Track, which is June 17th, before it's rethemed yet again. but the current work is largely focused in the World Celebration area. Already part of this transformation has opened last December with Dreamers Point and with park-like areas for outdoor shows, endless seating, and gathering arrangements, which are often empty. But together these are an attempt to reimagine how guests, many of them here at Epcot being locals, might use a theme park. The one large area that did not open last December was Communicore Hall and Plaza, whose areas are behind construction walls. But as you can see here, the project is moving toward completion with an opening date of June 10th. The area will include character meet and greets and an Encanto-themed show that will at least run through summer. The decorative design of the building includes triangular tiles that echo the tile design of Spaceship Earth, visually unifying now the whole area. This is a massive space that has now been closed for over 4 years and was even redesigned while being redeveloped. In the evening, a lighting package transforms the area. Light patterns on Spaceship Earth are replicated in the gardens. Light panels, you see those glassy triangles there, will also be part of Communicore Hall. Next up is Hollywood Studios, where Disney has recently upgraded Star Tours. This attraction, back in the mid-80s, was designed to have easily upgradable experiences. More may be coming in the near future, but at least for right now, passengers go on a mission with Ahsoka Tano, where they encounter the Purrgil, which are those massive space whales from the Star Wars universe. Our last park is Animal Kingdom. There's little construction here right now, but a big project is about to begin. We explore this project in far more depth and nuance on the podcast this month, including what's coming here and when work may begin. But a permit was recently filed to set up a backstage parking and staging area for construction workers to remove what's left of Dinoland. Already, Primeval Whirl was removed, the old ride pad was left bare. This area in the future will largely be themed to Encanto. Finally, over on Seven Seas Lagoon, we have the new DVC Tower that will be part of the Polynesian Resort. There's no official opening date yet, but from progress I would expect late 2024 or early 2025. Already a pool has been dug, not far from the lagoon. Rooms are mostly walled and windowed in. When finished, this structure will significantly expand guest capacity at the Poly. And before I finish up, I want to remind you that we discuss all of these topics in greater depth on the podcast beyond construction. This month we discuss updates to Redwood Creek. We also explore strategy changes for theatrical films that are being prepared at the studio. The 2 episodes that go with this video update are for April 2024, Part 1 and 2. Check out the links below and click in to the Disney History Institute podcast.